been filed by one Issa Mansour. That application take the bill. We need to make the argument. First of all, a notice of appointment of advocates that predates the entry of Issa Mansour. This civil process would have required, if a legitimate change of advocates was to be made, for a notice of change of advocates to be filed.
Watu kujeni bwana. Mko wapi?
Was filed.
Naye kastaki kujua. Itanisaidia kama itakuwa. Lakini kwa sikiliza niliweka ya kwanza. Nakwambia hapo watu walijaa. Waliingia mpaka 7. Bana si alafu na iko na sauti, si kanoti sauti.
The work of the commissioners of IEBC, whether in majority or in minority, to procure any services. That flies totally in the face of the procurement law in this country. As we sit here now, the 4 who purport to have procured have committed a criminal. IEBC was properly represented by its advocates on this table. The 4 individual commissioners who are now cited as respondents, but who are supporting the petition to enjoy the very distinguished services of my learned friend, the Honorable Paul Mwita. Your Leadership, Madam CJ, there is something that is likely to be lost as my 2 learned friends are fighting. And it is so important, it could compromise really the fairness of the hearing which you have endeavored with so much effort to craft a way forward. It is this. 8 petitions were filed against my client within the 7 days casting stone in the Constitution. It is the first time in this republic that 8 are filed. In 2013, there were 2. But because of ingenuity of this side of the court, we now can file very many, all intended for the same purpose. That aside, I burnt midnight oil, filed my response within time. Then comes the group of 4 commissioners. On 26th August, they have filed a response to the petition. They are filing this under the pretext they are respondents. They file a response. It is not a response. It advances new grounds for nullification of my client's electoral victory.
Senior counsel,
yes.
I think a ruling was delivered on...
My learned friend, Edu Muigai, was alluding to. Will that response be limited to the affidavits that they had filed and which have been allowed? Because if the response is also part of record, a response filed or a new petition filed outside time, I do not know whether I need to respond to it and whether it will be admitted by the court, notwithstanding the strictures in Article 140. I hope
We've got a new senior counsel. What we are dealing with is the application of whether we should allow counsel to represent the 4 commissioners. As you can see, the 2 factions are insisting they are representing IEBC.
And in the mix of it is that response that has been filed by learned counsel Paul Mwita's team.
We retire to consider that application,
please,
which was, I think, filed out of time. So
yes, that is
nice.
It's filed
so
out of time.
We'll consider it and come back with a ruling.
Correct.
Yes.
That's number 1. Number 2, again, something which may be lost out. When I look around me, my colleagues each representing a party. And as you said, some could be secondary petitions. They each have, under the guideline you give, 4 lawyers each. Very carefully I did.
And only the main parties who have 4 lawyers.
All the petitioners are main parties.
Okay.
All the petitioners are main parties. Say, for example, petition number 1, we have my learned friends, 4 of them. And the same goes for each petition. I don't know why the noise is being generated. I can see a battery of governor. Is each 2-2? Or, huh?
Mr. Ngatia, the other petitioners have 2.
4.
Oh, very well. So we really have no reason to complain.
Thank you so much, my lord. Nonetheless, actually, that makes my work much easier. Each has 2, they are 8, 16, or against nullification of 1 person. And then that one person, you limit him to 4 lawyers. I appreciate, I'll be the first one to say we are living in difficult times. But surely it will be very difficult for me, and I say this in all fairness, to be able to master a defense against all the 18 lawyers when all we have is a team of 4. Let me say the last thing, Madam Chief Justice, because your fairness is legendary. The total time given my learned friends, all the 8 of them, is 8 hours. I have been allowed 3 hours. I would have requested you, Madam CJ, if there's any way you could allow me at least half the time that my opponents have, so that I could at least be able to master a defense in relation to petition number 5, the primary, and the proxy ones.
Sijui hii kitu inaweza simama hivi. Kuna vile nikiingia kwa YouTube channel live.
If I may.
Nimelala yani.
If I may have your indulgence for only 1 minute. I noticed that my lady observes that
So unaweza fanya settings hiyo.
petition was filed out of time, and we admit that that is so. But the reason is that it is not one of the applications contemplated under the rules. Issa Mansour Esquire filed his papers
Hata si kwa
on the
simu.
Ni
26th.
kwa simu.
We did
Walikuwa
not
simu nani?
expect that there
Kwa
would
bila
be
kupindua hivi.
another
Auto-rotate.
Hii iko kule.
another petition filed in the guise of a
Sidhani kama
response.
ni.
Ndio.
Because what the
Jambo
four
nakwambia.
commissioners have done is to file a fresh presidential petition outside
Inafaa inaona ikuwe kama ikiseme.
timelines.
Ona difference yani.
We agonized as to what we ought to do in the circumstances, and the only
Ilikuwa
thing
nimesoma hivi
open
simama
to
sindio?
us was
Ndio example ya
to make the application on the 29th. So we beseech you that if you find that it is out of the normal timeline, you nonetheless grant us an extension of time, because resolving this matter is very fundamental to resolving the petition. It is my lady, this court that has repeatedly cautioned us that we should never attempt to resolve such a weighty matter as to who is the legitimate president of the Republic of Kenya.
Naona inafaa ikuwe hivi naona. Sasa naona nimeweka hivi yote wameanza kuongeza. Muona difference?
And I do pray therefore that you consider very seriously
Tunasema
that application so that you may guide us.
inasema ni rotate device. Hii inasema.
As regards time,
Inafaa naona ni rotate device.
Ifanye unajua unakazana na pia mimi nilifanya.
Na hii kitu inaweza geuza.
Nikangangana hivyo.
Kuna njia inaweza fanya hii kitu igeuke.
Tena nikuongee.
Kuja ugeuzia.
all these people are
Nataka hii kitu igeuke simu
the
isimame hivi.
integrity
Simu
of
isimame.
our technology,
Acha nikuache kufanya
the capacity of
Yeah, nataka simu isimame.
our personnel, and above all else,
nitaonyesha.
Nataka tuonyeshe mtu
the
mmoja sana.
integrity of our chairman. We would ask for just one more hour. so that we can meet these 7 petitions that have been allocated 10 hours. Thank you very much, my lady.
My lady, the President of the Court, and members of the Court, I think the Court has been very fair. Looking at the time allocation, we have 7 petitions, and in all those 7 petitions, we have been given a total of 6 hours, with a little bit more time for the petition number 5. We have 3 hours. The respondents similarly have 6 hours. And I think that taking into consideration the time that we have to hear and determine the petitions, I think that the time allocation has been very fair. Otherwise, if we have to follow the arguments by my learned friends for the IEBC, who would similarly say that our petitioners had a lot more to lose than the other petitioners, and therefore we should be given a little more time. But I think in the circumstances, I think the court has given a fair consideration as to the interests of all the parties and how to accommodate all the parties. 6 hours for the petitioners and 6 hours for the respondents. In 6 hours, I think you do a little bit of mathematics, you'll find. I did a little bit of mathematics. The other matter that I wish to draw the court's attention there is